Good morning. Today is the 7th of November, about 11:34 a.m. here in New York, and we will be beginning our Selenium with Java class for the batch of November 2015. First of all, I would like to welcome you all. Thank you for being here. I know it's a Saturday, and you guys, you know, probably would prefer being somewhere out rather than being here, but the fact that you're here, so I appreciate that. So that shows that you really want to make this thing happen. So let's get started. Let's talk about what we're going to be doing in the next 4 weeks, because we're going to be running this course for next 4 weeks. And there are going to be 8 sessions. Each session is going to be 2 hours long. And we will be meeting on Saturdays and Sundays as far as Java is concerned. If you have taken C# as well, then C# is starting on Monday. And that's an evening class. That's going to start from 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, what are the expectations out of this course? If I may ask you. Now, it would be a little bit difficult to, interact with each one of you because there's so many here. So what I would generally make an assumption that you are here because you want to learn as how to be an automated tester using Selenium. So this course is targeting, people who have software testing experience. I want you to be a manual tester because we will not be dealing anything with the concepts of testing here. I expect you to know the foundations of how you test an application. Now, we are focusing on the automation part of it. So I will be teaching you everything as far as how to automate. There is a huge learning curve when it comes to learning as how to automate, depending on what tool you would be using. If you have some experience with any other tools, from your previous life, let that be UFT, QTP, or any other tool like that, then you'll find that the transition is going to be a little bit smooth compared to not having any exposure. Now, I don't want to, discourage you, or I don't want to scare you, but this is basically what my expectation from your side is. Let me talk about that first. If you invest yourself seriously into this course, now, what do I mean by investing yourself? Of course, money-wise, you have already done. You have purchased the course, but I want you to be intimately involved with this course, meaning that for the next 4 weeks, you have to think just about Selenium. Everything you would be doing would be Selenium, meaning I will be assigning you. I will be, after the conclusion of every session, there will be an assignment. So there are going to be 8 assignments as a part of this, the whole thing. So you are expected to complete all those 8 assignments. Now, I can come pretty close to guaranteeing you a job within 6 weeks. Of course, within 6 weeks, it's going to be the holiday time. But, fast forward into January, I can I don't want to use the word guarantee, but almost guarantee, because the reason I'm not using the word guarantee is because I don't know you. But the disclaimer is, let's say if you completely invest yourself, if you do everything that we ask you to do, then of course I will guarantee you that you would be having a position, come January of 2016, and you'll be working in hopefully in Selenium with Java. Because the training is going to be pretty intensive. I will not cut any corners. I will cover everything that is needed for you to pass the interviews. If you're already in a project, then this course will definitely help you, complete your task at work, because we will eventually be looking at building a framework, and the framework is going to be pretty reusable, in the sense that once you build it here as a part of this course, you can almost take about 80 to 90% of that copy paste and with some minor modifications to it, and then it'll just perform flawlessly at at your work. I mean, whatever project you would be working on, this code will work there. So 8 assignments is what we hand over, and we expect you to complete those 8 assignments. If you have to gauge your own performance, how far have you come along, then I would say that the measure of your performance is not that I have to tell you that you're doing good. You yourself would know about it. And the way you would know about it is if you find yourself completing your assignments on time. Now, what is on time? Let's say if I give you an assignment, I will give you about 7 days to complete it. There will always be a weekend around it, right? So let's say if I give you an assignment today, this Saturday, I expect you to hand it over to me before next Saturday. So of course there is this all Saturday today, all Sunday tomorrow as on weekend for you to complete it. So if I give you an assignment, let's say tomorrow, that is Sunday, it is expected that you should be completing it by next Sunday. Now I will not be surprised if you turn it around within the same day, because what I have noticed in the past is a lot of folks who are really motivated, they try and complete the task without procrastination. So I don't want you to just sit on it. So do it as soon as you can, and that definitely would show that you are seriously involved in this process of learning and getting a job. Now, what are your expectations? I mean, bottom line of your expectation is I should be training you, in such a way that there is a transfer of knowledge, meaning that whatever is needed for the industry today for you to not only find a job, but keep yourself employed, is what you are looking for, and that is my challenge, and I will make sure that you get that knowledge in the next 4 weeks. Okay, there will be live classes that you would be attending. On top of that, we will be sharing with you the videos. So I expect you to watch the videos. I mean, whenever you have leisure time, you should be able to watch the videos and try and learn a little bit more from the videos as well, because we're going to do our best to complete as many topics as we can as a part of this course, but there's always a possibility that there will be a couple of topics that we might not be able to do it in the session. So that's why we give you the videos in advance. So almost all of you might have access to the videos, whoever have registered with us. So you just start watching the videos. The way you're going to be watching the videos is day-wise. So we might have shared a batch with you, the previous month batch. So this is November, so we might have shared with you October batch, or let's say September batch or August batch. So just open up those, and there are 8 videos in there. Each video is 2 hours long. Just start watching them, and I can assure you that when you come to these sessions, and when you get out of the session 2 hours after attending, after investing your time in 2 hours, I can assure you, I can promise you, I can guarantee you, your knowledge would definitely increase after you attend these sessions. Now, but it's a human tendency that it's not acquiring the knowledge, but retaining it. And the retention of this knowledge is possible if you repeat the process. So how would you repeat? You are not just watching me doing things in these sessions. You're going to be completing the assignment. So that is going to reinforce that you are a serious candidate and you're learning stuff. And I noticed that I have repeated probably like half a dozen times how important your assignments are. So you will find me doing it again and again if I don't see you submitting those assignments. So I'm going to be sort of like scratching your back and then, policing you and then coming at you for those assignments because that's a proven way of learning. Okay, what are you going to be learning? I will take you to TrainingRite.com. Under these courses, you can see a bunch of courses in here, but the one that we are interested in right now is the Selenium with Java. So if you go into Selenium with Java, you would notice that we have these offer of combo here, right? Because Selenium comes in different, you could program, you could create frameworks, you could create automated scripts in different languages, Java being the prominent one, but C# is picking up big time. Now, in fact, in the year 2015, the amount of jobs that are available using C#.NET had come up significantly, and believe it or not, if you go to dice.com, if you do a little research, a little survey of jobs in C#.NET, the pay for C# is a little bit more compared to Java because there is a demand for it and not that much of a supply for C#.NET. Am I trying to sell you that course? No, absolutely not. I mean, you are here, you are doing this, and this is what you have paid. But just out of curiosity, if you look into C#, we have priced it a little higher than that. What could be the reason for that? The reason for that is we are one of the very few companies out there that is providing training on Selenium with C#, and I have about 21 years of experience with Microsoft tools. I mean, I have been working since the year 1995 onwards with Microsoft tools, and this uses C# is a Microsoft language, and I have worked significantly in C#. So I teach you to the point that after you watch these videos, after you do the assignments, you can possibly put yourself into the same level as somebody who would have 3 to 4 years of experience in Selenium with C#. That kind of an intensity we try to put in this course, so that's why we priced it a little higher. But for somebody like you who have already taken or enrolled into it, there's a good news because we sell both for $5.99. So if you're doing C# for $4.99, so Java you're just getting it for $100. But if you're taking Selenium with Java and just adding a little bit to it, you would get both Selenium with C# as well as Java. Okay, that's a shameless pitch about the C#. But coming back to Java, this is basically what we intend to cover. I'm not going to be reading these things bullet by bullet, so when you have leisure time, just go ahead and read these things, but this is what I intend to cover as a part of this course. Not every topic might be covered in the session, but I can say that about more than 90% of these topics I will be covering as a part of the live sessions. Something you could basically, be watching it, let's say, for example, through the videos, like if we are not able to cover any particular topic, I would let you know. Okay, Shweta, I can send you an email about that. Okay, let's see how we're going to be progressing from here. So there's one thing that I would like to ask you folks. We have said the timings for this course to be from 11:30 to 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. Now, here is my question to you. Not that I want you to change what we have, but would it matter to you if we start this session a little earlier, let's say 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time? Are there any folks from California? Because if you are from California, if I start at 10, that would be like 7 a.m. for you, and that probably is not going to work out because it's going to be a little bit too early for you folks. But if you are not from California, if you're from Eastern Standard Time, if we start at 10 and finish it off at noon, then we have our day, the rest of the day free, and so that way you could do your chores on the weekends if you want to. If 10 you think is too early, we could 10 my time, which is Eastern Standard Time, is basically going to be 7 for Californian guys, Pacific time. But if you are, let's say, how about if we make it 10:30? How about 10:30 to 12:30? If that works, then we would be changing it to 10:30 to 12:30, if that works. All right. But I will take a survey of that. I'll individually ask you folks, and then based on that, we will go ahead with it. All right. Okay. Now the other thing is, now this is supposedly this is a live session, and the difference between a live session and the videos is you should make the best out of the live sessions by asking me your questions, anything, your concerns, your questions, your feedback, anything. Let's make it interactive. So there are two ways of you interacting with me. You can type your questions or your concerns, your anything in that box, chat window, and it'll flash next to your name. I'll read it and I will get back to you. If I'm in the middle of something, give me a couple of minutes to finish my thought and then address your question. So if I don't address it for, let's say, for a long time, then you can click and raise your hand, so that way it's sort of like flashes fast next to your name, and then I would know that you really need my attention. Now you can also talk to me, and the way you can talk to me is I have to unmute you. Right now you're all muted, so nobody's microphone is on right now. So if you need to talk to me, just click on that raising a hand or that palm icon, and then again I will unmute you and then we can talk. Again, I want it to be as interactive as you can. Now, couple of rules or do's and don'ts. You all are members of the Google group, so you should be utilizing it offline, meaning anytime you have any questions, go to groups.google.com and post your questions there. Now, before you, there are a lot of folks, by the way, you have been made a member of this group. If you are not already a member of this group, you let me know, and then we will make you a member of this group. So how are you going to be accessing this group? If you have a Gmail, once you logged into Gmail, just go to the browser and say groups.google.com, and then you will see this My Groups. Now, I am logged in, as TrainingRite, and I can see all of these groups because I am the admin of these groups, so that's why you see all of these groups. These are the different courses that we offer, and that's what you are seeing in here. So you probably would be seeing just TrainingRite Selenium training. So you just go in there, and as you can see, you can search for any topic. Just as an example, let's say if you're searching for Excel data-driven testing, right? Something of that sort. Now, notice when you do that, before you, there are a lot of folks who have done this, so they have questions. Now, I don't want you to get scared with looking at this code because, this is something that would come up a little later in the course. But as you can see, there's a lot of help. There is code in there. There are functions. There's stuff like that. Before you post any new topic, I would like you to go and then do a little search. Let's say for database, code. If you do that, as you can see, SQL Server database code to connect to database, retrieve data into an array. And again, there's a lot of code in there. As you can see, the whole code and stuff like that. So bottom line is you have to utilize the resources that are available to you. Now, understand that these live sessions is where I will see you in person, meaning you can talk to me, you can, and that doesn't mean that for the rest of the week you just have to, just not be in touch with what we are doing. Meaning, one of the ways of you to be in touch with it is, of course, do your assignments, and then if you have any questions, post your questions here. The way you're going to be posting your questions is, let's say if you are in this group, let me take you right from the beginning. If you are in this group, what you do is you will do a new topic and subject, and then type your question. And if you can provide a screenshot, let's say if you're running into an issue and you don't know how we need that can be fixed. The more you describe your problem or your issues or your challenges, the better it is for the rest of us to explain or make you understand how to resolve that issue, right? So I once again seriously invite you folks to utilizing these resources that are available to us. So you have these Google groups, and you have in the screencast. Very quickly before I start the session, let me just take a couple more minutes and finish off these things, because these things are also important. Now, as you can see, we have been providing different trainings. So these are different, videos and all that. So let me take you straight into Selenium. So there are two different folders that you have to pay attention to. You will be given access to something like this, right? A Selenium, and then there will be a month. So if I take and show you the latest months in here. So this is, I think, September, right? So if I go into September, you should see that there are 8 videos, right? So each video is approximately about 2 hours long. Some probably are going to be a little over 2 hours, 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 10 minutes, 2 hours 4 minutes, 2 hours 23 minutes, 2 hours 11 minutes, and 2 hours 19 minutes, 2 hours 22 minutes, 2 hours 22 minutes. Okay, so about 2 hours of videos are there. So I want you to start with day 1, so this is day 1, day 2. So you watch the video. As you watch the video, you can pause the video. Now, sometimes you have issues, let's say with this browser. The browser that I'm using right now is Firefox, so you can try the other browsers also. It should work fine, right? If you have any serious issues with it, just let us know. We have another server. We can give you access to from the another server as well. All right. Okay. So that is one folder that you should be watching, monthly folders. The other folder that you should be looking into is this one. Where is it? Selenium Java must-watch videos. There are about, as you can see, 16 videos are there. As you can see, there is so in your leisure time, just go and take a peek into it and see what we are doing, because there are some topics like debugging Java code in Eclipse, how to do that. Now, I don't expect you to watch these videos today on day 1. Let us finish at least 2 or 3 classes, then you could come in here and then start watching these things. All right. Okay. There is a if I can put $1 to the question that people ask me, I would have made a lot of money. And the question people ask me is, hey, I don't know Java, I don't know programming, can I still do this course? The short answer to that question is absolutely yes, you can do this course, right? The long answer to that question is, of course you don't know, but this is not rocket science. This is not something that cannot be learned. Before you, a lot of folks, they have learned it, so you would learn it too, right? So it won't take much of your time, to learn it, because it's not crazy difficult, like you are decoding any algorithms or doing anything. It's simple programming that we will teach you. Now, understand that you are not going to become a programmer. Somebody asked me a question. Do I need to know pointers? Do I need to know structures? Now, understand, you are not going to become a developer or a programmer here. I'm going to make you an automated tester. An automated tester need not know all of those things. If you know, well, good for you. But if you don't know about it, What my goal, my intention is to teach you enough of Java that you could get by doing your daily chores as an automated tester. That is the objective, that is the goal, and that's what we try to accomplish. Now, if you seriously want to invest yourself into learning Java and all that, again, this is the last time I would be talking about it, and then I will never talk about it. You can take this course, Java for Testers. Here we cover pretty much everything that is needed for you to know about Java. Again, it's not needed. If you want, it's there, but it's not necessarily needed as a part of learning, because I will be teaching you enough of it that I will be giving you. I will also be giving you some videos from this Java course as well. So if you see here, Java for Testers, I will give you some videos from there, right? So these are very fundamental of core Java, learning core Java. So again, almost like 2 hours video. So this is 2 hour. So I'll give you access to these videos as well. So there's no worries about you having any issues learning, this. Okay, with that said, why don't we get started and let's do some Selenium. Before we do the Selenium, let me ask you folks if you have any questions. If you have any questions, let's address those questions and then get started. So anybody, any questions, anything so far? Now, if you have taken a course with me in the past, then you know that even though we call it as an interactive session, but I hardly give you folks any opportunities to talk, because continuously for over 2 hours I will be talking. So I want to change that bad habit of me just talking, and I let you also participate. So why don't we ask you this question? Okay. Now, okay, before I ask, there are a few things in here that I would like to, Hugh, I would unmute you so that you could ask your question. So I have unmuted.
Sorry, I was trying to put my headset on. So how long can we access this Google group?
Google Group is a lifetime membership. Once you make the payment, once you are here, you have for life, you will have access to Google Group. So that is no problem. But the videos are for 1 year.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome. Anybody else? Any questions about these things? There's a question here. Would you be helping us with the resumes at the end of this session? Yeah, of course. There are a couple of things that we will be doing at the end of this course. We will be giving you the sample resumes, about half a dozen resumes. I will be giving it to you that have worked in the past, and you can take a look at those resumes and make one for yourself. So that is what we will do, and we'll also give you some interview questions. Now, when I talk about the interview questions, look, these days things are very, very different. It's not like how it used to be in the past, that there are like, okay, 50 interview questions, and then they would be asking you everything from those interview questions. These days it's pretty dynamic, in the sense that you never know what they would be asking you. But out of those, let's say if I give you 50 questions, there's a pretty good chance that a good 30 to 40% of the questions might come from those interview questions, because it's going to be based on your resume, what you put on your resume, and that's what they would be asking you. So if you mention on your resume that you have experience from 10 different companies, they would like to pick your brains to understand what have you done in the previous projects at these companies. So pay attention to the way you build your resume, you make your resume, what you put in there, because that is important. Your interview probably is going to get shape based on the contents that you put in the resume. So again, we will be talking about the interview questions when we come to the tail end of the question of this course. Shweta, go ahead. I have unmuted you.
Yeah, Irfan, that was the question actually. Because like for the interview, the mostly they will be what I have felt that mostly they don't go and ask like straight up interview questions about Selenium. They usually ask about mostly about like related to your project, like how many testers were there, what were you doing, all related to projects. So it would be good if let's say if you at the end, let's say if you take a project and can say that okay, these can be a possible questions related to like any random project. Uh, that's the whole point, because yes, you are right that they are not going to ask
Yeah.
anything related to specific to only Selenium. They will ask mostly about the like dynamic questions, as you said. So
right.
yeah.
Right. So yeah, we will put aside some time discussing about it when we come to the tail end of the course. I will definitely discuss those things at that time. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. So why don't we get started? All right. So Selenium is pretty hot these days, right? There are tremendous opportunities in Selenium these days, Selenium. If you go and do a research on Dice.com, Monster.com, you'll find that all over the country, including Canada, there are a lot of positions in it. And if you're watching this session from Australia, from New Zealand, or from UK, you know that there are tremendous, potential in having this skill set. So your investment is definitely going to be valuable if you not just partly invest yourself by purchasing this course, but seriously investing by interacting, by doing the assignments. It will add good value to your resume. That's a given. That's a given. There are no ifs and buts about it. That's a proven thing in the past. We have trained a lot of people, and people are getting jobs. Okay, now what do we need to know to get these positions without going crazy? So what I will do is I will try to focus your energies into areas where we need to seriously pay attention. So if you look at Selenium, Selenium can be basically as Selenium IDE, Selenium RC Server, and Selenium WebDriver. All right. So now, if I have to tell you, if I have to put a number, I would say that about 80% of the work that is happening today is in Selenium WebDriver, right? RC Server was pretty hot in the year 2010, 2011. It was very hot at that time because WebDriver was in its infancy stage. There's not much of WebDriver. Everything that we used to do was in RC Server. But today, it's hardly used, but we cannot totally discard it by saying that, okay, if it is not being used, then I will not even look into it. I want you to look into it, but I will not be covering it as a live session. You will be watching the videos of this. So I will give you a lot of videos on RC Server. Just watch those videos, do those exercises, and you will be fine. But let's say worst case scenario, after you working on RC Server, if you are getting stuck, if you're not able to move further, then I will take a short session on that and then show it to you as how to do that. But my videos are pretty straightforward, step-by-step instructions. So if you follow the videos, you should be able to do it, right? So we will not be covering this RC Server. We'll covering only through videos, not as live sessions, right? So I'm not taking away anything from you by not covering it. It is going to be covered, but through videos. IDE. Now, The reason I put 80% here, I should actually say 80 to 90% because IDE is almost not used, but used quite a bit. Now, I am contradicting with what I'm saying right now. I said it's almost not used, but used quite a bit. So what it is IDE I will start today, and hopefully, if not finished today, I will finish it in the next class. I'm not going to spend too much time on it, but enough so that you could utilize what IDE has to offer and use that knowledge while working with the WebDriver. What do I mean by that? IDE is record. You could record and run your scripts. When you record, what are you recording? You're recording your actions that you perform, you perform on a browser. By the way, Selenium can do only web apps, right? I mean, it can also do mobile apps, but I will not be teaching mobile apps. That's a separate course. The reason I am not doing that is because I don't want to do things half-heartedly, meaning that, okay, just for the sake of saying that I have covered mobile. No, I don't believe in like just touching it. If I get involved into something, I want to do it to a level of perfection. So I cannot justify covering web application testing and mobile application testing together in this course. So that's why we made it as a separate course. If anybody is interested, you could take that course. But right now, let's focus on the web application. So anything that runs in a browser. So we will be, of course, be using all the browsers, Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, Safari, Opera, all of these browsers. But the focus is the three main ones. These are the focus. But of course, I'll be showing you the other two browsers also. So we will be testing web applications. And in order to test your web applications, 90% of the time, 80 to 90% of the time, you will be using Selenium WebDriver, right? So you can imagine our whole course is going to be about that. But since you also need to have a knowledge of IDE, that's where we are going to start today. All right. Okay. Now, while working with Selenium WebDriver and RC Server and IDE, there are so many other things that you need to know. So there is something called Firebug. There is something called FirePath, and there is something called Eclipse. So these are some of the helpful tools that we will be using in order to do our testing. And the testing is all about the creation or the building of what? Building of scripts. So the scripts are nothing but small programs, right? Program is also referred to as code. So you will be writing code. Now, in order to write your script or your code, you got to be knowing some language. So Selenium WebDriver basically works with many languages: Java, C#, Python, Ruby, Perl, and many other languages. Now, again, this is the most popular language that is being used today. C# being the next one in line. Python is also used. Ruby is also used. We have other courses which you could go and take a look into it. Day one of any course that we offer is free. So whenever you get an email from us, if not for anything, just for fun, just come watch how we do things. So if you want to see how Ruby Cucumber works, come for the class when we offer that Ruby. Day one, you could just come. So likewise, the Selenium with C# is starting Monday evening. So just for curiosity's sake, you could just come and then attend that class. That way you will get to see how we do Selenium with C#, how we do that testing. Okay, coming back to our focus in this course is going to be Java. So Today, I will not be writing any scripts. I'll not be creating any scripts today with my own hands, right? So today we're going to be focusing on the recording. So what are we recording? We are recording the actions that we perform on the browser. So we are going to be testing an application, a web application. So now there are applications out there that you could go and then you could test. Now, to give you an example, if you go to any other training school, or if you go to anybody who is trying to mentor you, trying to teach you, they might take you to Google, they might take you to Amazon, they might take you to eBay, they might take you to places like that to show you as how this thing works. But try and imagine, if I take you to Amazon.com, if I take you to eBay, if I take you to now, would you be able to find any bug there, any defect in those applications? I mean, can you imagine Amazon having a bug? So the idea is I should be teaching you in a way so that you not only know as how to create these scripts, but look out for bugs, look out for defects, right? So what I have done is I have created my own applications in here. So I will be walking you through at least 3 different applications. So now these are something that is pretty close to real life, but I have intentionally planted some defects and bugs in it, right? So what you have to do is you not only have to create or build the scripts, but you also have to look out for the defects that you cannot do if you go to eBay, or if you go to Amazon, or if you go to Google. You cannot do that because there are no defects there. I mean, thousands and hundreds of developers and testers have worked together to produce that quality software. So what are the chances that you would find any bug there? So there will not be any, right? So that is why I bring you here. So this is an application which is similar to an e-commerce application. So in an e-commerce application, what do we do? I mean, these are the basic tasks that we perform in any e-commerce a shopping cart application. So if you are doing testing for a shopping cart testing, application testing, these are the things, these are basically the main objectives or the test cases that you would have, right? So if, let's say, if you're doing an end-to-end testing, then basically these are the things that you would be looking for. What do you do? Basically, and I'm giving you the overview from 40,000 feet above, right? So that's the overview I'm giving. So I'm not getting into the nitty-gritty details of what each module is going to be looking like. But you would be basically searching, right? Searching for a product in the catalog. You'll be searching. So that search feature should work, meaning when you type for something, the related product should show up. As an example, let's say if I come in here and I type for iPhone. So I don't want anything else, but anything that is an iPhone or an accessory related to iPhone should be shown up, right? So, I mean, just to not overwhelm you with millions of other things showing up on the side. I mean, you have visuals take away your concentration, or visuals will make you focus on something. So I could have a beautiful girl here holding an iPhone, and then the objective will be or the goal will get digress, or your focus will be not from what we want to do in here, but moving towards that what is being shown up in here. So my goal here is to show you a clean and simple application that does the e-commerce, the e-commerce application features are there. So you search for something. Once you search for something, the next thing that you would like to do is probably, if you're not window shopping, if you are serious about buying a product, then you would do what? You would add items to the shopping cart. That's what you would be doing. So again, how would you test? So your expectations are, if you add something to it, this particular item should be added to the cart, and it should retain. It should be sitting in that. It should be staying in that cart, right? So that's adding. So when I add, so this is my shopping cart. It is sitting in my shopping cart. It's not only giving me the total price of it. There's a discount of that, online discount, and then there's a grand total. Now, you are not just adding an item to the cart and then going to the checkout. Chances are you want to continue shopping, right? Continue shopping is basically modifying, right? Modifying the cart, modifying the shopping cart. Modifying the shopping cart is the ability to, modification is what? Modification is the ability to add or remove items, right? Add or remove items. So modifying is adding or removing items to the shopping cart, right? So we should be able to do that, and this thing should work. Now, the wordings might not be too user friendly in here. Register more products. I mean, what do you mean by register more products? But you get the idea. So once you click on that, you go back. You could search for more, or you could pretty much look for it. So let's say we want to search for it. So I'm searching for, let's say, cameras. So I do a camera and do that, and all the cameras are popping up, and I like this Canon PowerShot digital camera, light blue, or maybe this one I like, so I add it. So what is my expectation right now if I add it? Is it going to keep that iPhone in there and add this? Sure, that's what I want, but let's see if it is doing that. So when you come in here, yes, it is doing it. So it kept it, and you have that, and then you have this, and the grand total is 843. So that's pretty much adding everything, giving you the discount and all that, right? Okay, now can you change the quantity? It's not about adding new products. Can I buy 2 of these iPhones? So if you do 2, right, you expect it to change, so you recalculate order, and let's see if the total would change and the grand total would change. So as you can see, and the total did change, the grand total did change. So my modifying of the items or modifying the shopping cart is working too. Then what's the next thing that I would be doing? And we are just, this is the overview. This is not even the test steps that I'm talking about. This is just the plan of what we are going to automate. So after you do all this, then you're ready to check out. So the checkout or checking out basically should involve the following. When you check out, what do? You have to enter the customer information, because we don't know who is buying it, so we want to gather that information. B, you want, let's say, the payment information. How are they going to be paying for this, right? And C, once we get the payment, of course, we got to be shipping it. So shipping information, right? So once we have that, then we should, if you check out, then we should eventually be able to, step number 5 is order confirmation. So order confirmation is the ability to give out, this should at least spit out some message, right? Maybe a sort of like a receipt, or send an email in the background. You would have something that would send out an email. But for the browser itself, it should sort of like generate some confirmation or the order number, and some confirmation message, right? So that way we can prove that this order went through. So these are basically the things that we would like to happen. So if I take you manually, so far we are at a point where we have modified the cart, and let's go to the checkout. So if you go to the checkout, here is basically your customer information. So I could enter my information in there, once you enter your information, customer information, now you are entering your phone number here. Now, here is the payment. How are we going to be paying for this card? Now, notice if I go here, and let's say Visa cards, they start with 4, right? But let's say I enter a MasterCard number that starts with 3. So I enter, and that's not a valid number, so don't even try. I just, just type something. And back of the card is 1, 2, 4, 5, whatever, right? And the expiration is 12/20/20, right? Now, it would have been better if I'm shipping to the same person rather than retyping it. If there was like a checkbox or something, once I check that, and it would come, it would copy this information, shipping information, same as the customer information, something like that. And once we check that, so in this first build, right? So we will be going through regression testing down the road, meaning that this is the developer had just created this, and we are doing this, the testing of it. So this is in its first build, let's say, or fourth build. So there are going to be enhancements. So when we do the enhancement, how can we take the script that we have created and add on to that script based on what new features have been added, and then do a regression testing? So we'll be looking into that as well. So coming back right now, I just have to type. Let's say I am shipping it to somebody. So let's say I'm sending it to Shweta, and her address is 111 Clinton Avenue, let's say Dallas, Texas, and I don't even know what their zip codes are, and trust me, that is not Shweta's number. Don't even try. All right, okay, so we got this information in here. Next thing that I would like to do is I would like to submit the order and see if it is going to generate an order. So when I submit, as you can see, lo and behold, here is my confirmation number, and behind the scenes probably it would have sent an email, but that is coming as a part 2 because we never captured any email. So if you see, nowhere I have captured any email. So if I go back in here, there was no email, right? So that is coming in part 2, where we will do the email, and we'll also enhance a little bit about that. So I'll give you that. So right now, that's that. So how can we go and then automate this whole thing? Manual testing I just did, but if we have to automate, how are we going to do it, right? Okay. Now, first things first, Selenium comes, as I said, as IDE, as RC Server, as WebDriver. Our focus is WebDriver, but I will start off with IDE today, and we will do that automation testing of record and run today by using Selenium IDE. And then later on, starting from tomorrow's class, we'll get into the WebDriver, right? So to get into IDE, how do we start the testing? First of all, first things first, you got to get the environment. Every time you are doing something, you focus on the environment. Environment is the machine that you're working on. So let's say in our case right now, but at work, probably you have data coming from either network drives or databases, and then you have to get connected to some external servers to do things like that. Right now, my environment is on my machine, on my machine, and we don't really care too much about the specs of the machine. I hope all of you have got decent machines, decent laptops, or decent desktops. So what you need to have, first things first, you have to have all three browsers. So if you don't, just go ahead and download those three browsers. These three browsers, you have to have these if you don't have it on your machine. Now, if you see here on my machine, particularly if you look at 1 second, here in the bottom, I have Google Chrome, I have Internet Explorer, I have Firefox, I have Opera, I have Safari, right? So I have all that. So try to prepare the environment. So try to do those things. If not, if you don't already have it, right? Okay. Next thing is, since we are starting with the Selenium IDE, your machine mandatorily should have Firefox. I cannot do anything unless you have Firefox because IDE will work only with Firefox. Now, I said IDE works only with Firefox, right? But let me come back to it later on and try to change that sentence of what I just said. For now, just go with the fact that IDE can work only with Firefox. Later on, I'll show you how to make IDE work with anything else. But for now, you're talking about Firefox. So if you don't have Firefox, you cannot do what I am going to do right now. That begs the question, how can we do it with Internet Explorer and Google Chrome? I'll answer that. Right now, just let's go take baby steps and consider the fact that in order to do IDE, you have to have Firefox. So we already have Firefox, right? Next thing is you have to have Selenium IDE. So let's talk about getting Selenium IDE. Where do we get Selenium IDE, or how long of a process is that? So to get Selenium IDE, bring up your Firefox. Bring up your Firefox, and notice I'm using Firefox here. Doesn't matter what version of. I have intentionally stopped updating automatically. So I'm sitting at 34. Right, and right now I think it's up to 39, I guess. So I'm sitting at 34 because I do so many things, and sometimes if it automatically updates it, it breaks my other tools. So that's why I stopped it. But it really doesn't matter for you folks, whatever the version is. Majority of the time, it should just work. But you got to have Firefox. Once you have Firefox, go to google.com. In Google, we will be searching for Selenium IDE download, right? Okay, so as you can see, there are a bunch of links in here. Let's click on the first one, and this is the Bible of your Selenium learning. SeleniumHQ.org. Everything that you possibly need is up here, right? So we will keep coming back to this site again and again. There's a lot of documentation in here. If you need, you could come back, and then you could, like, say, for example, Selenium IDE. Right from introduction to installation to opening that, everything is in here, right, if you need to. But since you are already taking a training with me, so I will show it to you. But in your leisure time, if you need to just go and take a look, you could do that. But not just IDE, but anything and everything, it is here. So that's why I call it like the Bible of Selenium automated testing. Everything is in here. So let's go to download, and we are looking for Selenium IDE. So when we will be dealing with let's say WebDriver and all that, I will come in here and I will show you all of these things. Right now I'm looking for Selenium IDE. So if you scroll down a little bit, you should be able to find Selenium IDE. Here it is, right? Selenium IDE. So what we're going to be doing is, again, you have to come here using Firefox. Why? Let me read it. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the first couple of words should give you the hint that this is not going to work with IE, or this is not going to work with Google Chrome. So you have to have a Firefox, because Selenium IDE is a Firefox plugin. Okay, so let us look into how to download it on our machine. So this is a plugin which works with Firefox, and it records and playbacks your actions, your interactions with the browser, right? Okay, and so let's get it. So in order to get, this is the download the latest version, which is 2.9.0, right? It was released in the March of that. So let's go ahead and download it. So once I click on that, now we have this misconception of download being something like that can take like a long time or what. This is just a plugin, and a plugin is a very small in size. So I would not be surprised if it gets downloaded in the blink of my eye. So if I say allow and one Mississippi, and then it's done. So it's saying that, hey, you are you allowed to download the following. But this might be some malicious software, so that this can damage. So yeah, you're fine. You're okay with it. So this is about Ruby and Python and C# and all and Java. So just say okay to it. So just say install. And restart is not restarting of the machine. It's the restarting of the Firefox, right? So I will say restart. So it's just gonna restart. Hopefully there it is. So it is installed now. So where would you go to find out that it is installed? Well, first you got to make sure that you have these menu items activated, right? So sometimes what happens is if people they have not done this menu, right, you will not be seeing that. So right click and make sure that this menu is checked, and let's go under tools. If you go under tools, all the way in the bottom here is Selenium IDE. So it already got installed in here. Selenium IDE is here, right? Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we will be basically be starting to see how it looks like, right? And what it is and how it looks like. That's what we'll be looking into right now. Okay, so to do that, now, so far, if there is any question that you have, I would like to know if you have any questions so far. If not, then basically I would be going into this tools and Selenium IDE, and I will bring up the IDE. So here is my IDE. And as you can see, this is Selenium IDE 2.9.0, right? I mean, you can resize it to any size you want. You can maximize it, right? So that's what it is. Now let's talk a little bit about this tool. And if you look into it, right here on the top is the menu items, and then there is a base URL, and then you have a toolbar in here. And then you have a left side, and then you have a right side. On the right side, you have something called command, target, and value. Now, one thing that is important is all the way on the right hand side, you see this red button in here. You see this red button here. What that red button is, that red button is a toggle, meaning that it's a switch that controls the recording. So it is saying that, hey, you're already recording. So what is it going to record? I mean, is it something in the background it is recording? No, because what it records is your action on the browser. Did I do any action since I opened this? Did I do any actions on any browser? No, I did not, right? So even though the button is on, but it's not recording. So let's come up, right? Let's come up with a test case first and see what we want to record. So according to my test case, these basically are the things that I would like to do. My test case is to test the functionality of the shopping cart application, and this is for what company? To test the, let's say, TrainingRite.net, right? /online, right? And this is my application under test. So to test the TrainingRite.net online functionality of the shopping cart application. Now, in here, I can come up with my test steps, right? So what my test steps are? My first test step would be open Firefox browser, right, and navigate to the application under test, which is TrainingRite Online, right? The next step is type, let's say, a product to search in the type Sony, let's say, right? Which is the product to search, right? Okay, I'm not gonna write all my test steps, so I'll just go ahead and do it. Okay, so far nothing is recorded. If it records anything, you will find something over here. So far nothing is there. Why? Because I have not gone to the browser. So let me open up a browser. Here is my browser, and let me go to this site, right? TrainingRite.net / right, and I will go to online, right? So that's where we are going to begin our testing. And what I need to do in here is basically I need to search. Now, before I do anything, let me take you back into this and see if something happened in here. Now, notice nothing happened. Even though it is recording, nothing happened. So basically what we got to do is in the base URL here, we have to mention the the address of the website. So the address of the website is TrainingRite.net, right? So we are going to do the recording here on TrainingRite.net. Now that I have set it and saying that you are whatever this guy will perform the actions on this TrainingRite.net, you go ahead and then you record that. So with that said, so we are here. It is going to check on the TrainingRite.net, and I am going to come in here and I will type something. So this time I'm typing, let's say, Panasonic, and type Panasonic, and I click on this go. So think in your head each action that I'm doing. I type something in here and I clicked on this go. All right. Okay. Once I do that, of course, I see some TVs in here. So I'm going to go and add this. So I click on that. I add that. It's a $600 TV. There is a discount, $498. Am I done with it? No, I want to. This is adding of that. I need to go ahead and then modify. So I come in here and I look for something else. And this time I'm looking for, let's say, a Samsung product. So I say Samsung, and again there are TVs. So I don't know why I'm buying TVs left and right, but I am. So I bought a Panasonic, a Samsung, and let me go and buy a camera, right? I'm on a buying spree today. So we buy this camera and we buy an iPhone. So I come in here and I buy an iPhone and search for an iPhone, and I like the 6 Plus. So I don't like iPhones. No, I probably am making many people mad here. But I was using Samsung Note for a long time, and I heard a lot of reviews about this iPhone Plus. So I went to AT&T stores and I said, okay, I want iPhone Plus, and they said we don't have in stock. Okay, I went back like next week. No, we don't have in stock. One more week. No, we don't have in stock. So I went to Apple and I got it from there. Since I used this Note for about 3 years or 4 years, and when I got iPhone 6 Plus, believe it or not, I am going to return it. I'm going to return it. I mean, as crazy as you want to call me, but basic functions, I cannot get it done in this iPhone 6 Plus. I want to go back. I cannot go back. I search for, in my leisure time, I'm just searching for some, YouTube cricket videos. I come from a country called India, and we have a new religion, or not a new religion, or one more religion there, and that religion is cricket. I mean, everyone watches, plays, so I want to watch something. So I go and I search for those videos, and if I want to go back, I cannot. I don't know how to go back. So the guy tells me, okay, you have to push on the home button, go all the way back and close that and retype. Are you kidding me? I mean, you know, so I said, no, I'm returning it. I'm returning it. I want my note back, and I'll be buying a new note. I mean, I have no dog in this fight about Samsung, or rather, you know, Android and iPhone or Apple, but I think I have experienced it, and so for no reason I got to pay that restocking fee of like $35 just to return it, I guess, you know. Anyways, we digress. Let's come back. So we are buying this. So we got this. Just for the heck of it, I'm just gonna change things to 2 camera. I will change to 2. 200 should become 400. So recalculate it. So 400. Now I'm checking out. All right. So I'm happy with it. I check out, and let me just put James Bond, and address is 123 London Avenue. I don't even know the London Avenue in London. You know what? I think I should stick to US. What code am I going to be putting in state there? So let's say we are in Los Angeles, California. I don't know the zip codes there, so I'm just going to put something in there. Daytime will just come up with some number, and visa. And notice I'm using a different number for visa, right? And these two, I will not even put these two, right? And I'm shipping it to myself. James is sending me something. So that's that. That's that. Okay, so we are good. I can even go to the point of like taking out something or adding something here, but then I'm not gonna. So I'll just go ahead and then submit the order. So if I submit the order, it should. Now, what is the bug? Can somebody tells me if there is a bug in here or no? Was there a bug? Did you find any bugs? Or you say, I don't know. So what do you think? Was there a bug though, or no? Yeah, you could see a defect in there because I did not put in. How can you get away without putting the expiration and without putting in the, you know, whatever the other fields that we're missing? So that is a bug that we got to be looking into. If you see here, that way I did not put in that, right? Okay, but let's see what had happened here in the, okay, in the back, if you see here, so many things happen in here, as you can see. Now, I'm gonna go over line by line just to make sure that you understand. So we start off with this being the main URL, and then the first command here is open. And if you see anything that I click on in the bottom, it gives me what it is. So it's command, target, and value. Command, target, and value. So after we open that, we should go to this subsite, which is online. So open means that, okay, take me there, take me to this TrainingRite /online. Now the next thing is type. Command is type where. So the target is type here. Now if you don't know what is this, what you could do is you could just make it a little smaller. And if you want to see what is this, now notice we moved away from that page. So if I do this, if I say find, it might not be able to find anything because we moved away from that page, right? But if I go back to that page, right, the first page, if I go back to this page, right, and if I, let's say find, notice, just keep an eye here, it'll flash for a second, see that? So if you don't know where it is, it'll tell you which object it is, right? So this is, we are typing in this what Panasonic. The value is Panasonic. Okay. Then after that, click and wait. On what? Target is go. Where is that? So if I say find, see that? See, it is flashing around it. So we are clicking on it, right, and waiting, and then go. So that will bring us to the next page. So we come to the next page, and in the next page, what we did, we clicked on some Panasonic and whatever. So this one. So when you do that, we clicked. Oh, did I cancel that? I think okay. If you see here, keep an eye there, and you would see that it flashes around it, right? So we clicked on that, and then we clicked on this button. So these are basically all the instructions. So let me save it. As you can see, it is untitled. So let me just go File and say Save Test Case As. Okay, now I want to tell you that it will be better if you organize your things. So please organize your things. So what you do is on your C drive, we do training in different areas. So I have all these folders, but I want you to create a folder. Call it either Selenium Java or Selenium Java Training or something like that. So if you want to be consistent with me, then use it as what I have named it, Selenium Java Training, right? And inside it, I want you to go ahead and create a folder called IDE test cases, IDE test cases. So I created this folder, and inside it, because of the different classes that I have taught, so these test cases are in there, right? Okay, so what we want to do is we want to save this in that folder. So save test case as, and C drive, and if I take you to Selenium Java, and there are IDE test cases, and let me save it. So I will call it, I'll give it, I'll call it day 1, and this is November 2015. And what is it? This is the shopping cart test, right? Okay, so I'm going to save it as that. So as you can see here, that's what is the name, day 1 November 2015 shopping cart test. So we saved it. Now I have to see whatever I have recorded. If I could do what? I have recorded this piece. If I could run it. So how do we run it? So in order to run it, I have a bunch of this open, right? So what I will do is, wherever I am on Yahoo right now, right? And if I want to, let me just do it this way, so that and so if you see now, I have it on the side. So I will run it. So wherever I am, it really doesn't matter. I'm on Yahoo right now. I want to go ahead and run. Before I run, I want to do one thing. If you can see this fast and slow. If I keep it on fast, it's gonna do it so fast that we cannot even see what is happening. So let's scroll it down to the slow side, right? And let's run it. So if you see, there are buttons. This is play the entire test suite. Suite is a collection of tests. So if you see here, there's a test case. So if there were like 3 or 4 or 5 test cases, then it would have ran this one, then the next one, then the next one. Right now I have only one. So how does it matter? I mean, if you have only one, so I could just say play the current test, right? Okay, wherever I am, I could be here, I could be here. It's gonna play right from the beginning, right? So here I go, and I am going to do it. So what is it going to do? I want you to keep an eye here. So every time it is doing an instruction, it is running a command. Its color is going to be light beige color, and after it executes it, it turns it into light green. So let's see what happens right now. Here we go. So see here, opening, right? Second one, third one, and keep an eye on the browser too. Now notice on the browser, we already have so many things in here on the browser. It kept the information from before. The reason for that is if you don't close the browser, it caches the stuff. It caches the stuff, so that's what it is doing. But as you can see, our test case is working, so I change it to Los Angeles, and then that, and then that's the number, and that, and as you can see, it is entering all that, and it clicks on the button, and lo and behold, we have a confirmation number 113333. That's the confirmation number. If everything went right, you should see a green here saying that it ran, and then there were no failures. Everything went fine. So what we just accomplished right now, what we just did is how to use Selenium IDE and create a test case to do automated testing. Okay. Now, if everything can be this easy as just recording and doing the automation testing, then they would not be paying you $60–70 per hour, and the going rate right now for Selenium. And if you know everything, I shouldn't be saying everything. If you know most of the things that are needed for you to be productive at work, then they are willing to pay you as much as $65, $70, $75 per hour, depending on what part of the country you live in. I have some of my students who are making about $75 per hour working in Manhattan, in New York, and some of them in San Francisco are making that kind of money. So New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, these areas, they pay you more, and also on the West Coast, they pay you more. But if you are in mid-America, let's say if you are in Chicago, or if you are in Dallas, or if you are in Minnesota, Minneapolis, or if you're in let's say Colorado, or if you are, so expect somewhere like 20% less than what you would get paid in here. So we're talking about, on an average, somewhere between $48 to $60, somewhere in between. So if you go with the mid number, maybe you should be expecting about $52, $53 per hour. That should be the amount of money that you would be getting paid. Don't sell yourself cheap, because after you put in some serious effort into it, I don't want you to just go and work for like $30 or $40, because you will make that kind of money. You will make that kind of money. If not $75, definitely you should make around $50 an hour. That is the norm. That's the going rate right now in United States for a Selenium tester. That's what you should be. So if somebody's trying to pay you less, then they are squeezing you. They are taking advantage of you. Don't let people abuse you. You got to make that kind of money. Okay, so if you expect to make about $48, $50 an hour, you don't expect that you should just be knowing just the recording, because there's a lot more to it, right? Okay, what is a lot more to it? What I am going to do today is, of course, we will come back to Selenium IDE, but I will prepare you for what is coming in the next class. So what is coming in the next class is, once you have this script, and like this script, let me go and run from some of the previous courses, batches rather. So if I take this one, shopping cart, right? Let me open that and show it to you. What did I do now? Let me see. So let me go to Tools, Selenium IDE, open File, open a test case, and let me go to this one. Anyone, doesn't matter, anyone. Let me go to this one. Right? Okay. I have not shown you the application at all, right? So let me just show you that. And there is something in here. Now, if you can start to understand what is happening, that means that it'll go to this TrainingRite and it'll open this one. Right? So if I show you the application, let me start you with the application. So, okay. So, what this application is all about is you have seen that there are some, in today, in order to retain a customer, you got to, give them, some, you got to, the retention factor would be more if you, throw perks at your customer. And the way you're going to be doing that, rewarding your customer, is different businesses, they have different ways of rewarding their customers. So if you have airlines, they give you miles, and if you go to let's say credit card companies, they give you points, and if you go to any retail, they will also probably give you some points. So the idea here is this is for an airline, and right now I worked for this many years ago, and then I used this to show it, and I had their logo here on the top, and see here now I removed their logo and all that, and I also removed their name in here because they they did not like the fact that I was using their name. Basically, this is about an airline that I worked many years ago, and they were starting a reward program. In the reward program, what happens is once you have your customer, you not only sell something to your customer, but you keep them by offering them some rewards, and the rewards can be for your own product or can be your product of your partners. So this is an airline. So I'm not showing you about the airline portion of it. I'm showing the airline's partner part of it. So this airline, if you book yourself into this airline, you are traveling, let's say, to give you an example, you're traveling from New York to California. So I booked my flight from New York to California, and now this application is about what happens at my destination. At my destination, what this airline is offering is, since you took our flight, we will treat you like an elite, like a king or a queen or a Hollywood, star. So when you get off at your destination, we will offer you a service wherein you can be picked up in a big limousine, no Uber, but a big limousine, and we will be dropping you off to wherever you want to with big discounts, and not only that, but you will also be earning some points. So this is about, so a person like me, and I think there's nothing wrong in it. Before I spend my dollars, I would like to find out, like, are they taking me for a ride, or is this like something that I can afford, or this is really for elites? So I would look for the rate lookup. So think about this as your test case. So the developers had already built it. Now we are going to test it. So we will click on this rate lookup. Now this service is being offered all over the globe. So this is international, all these countries, from Australia to Holland to Africa to Greece to Spain to Switzerland, China, Ireland, all these countries, all these, Venezuela, India, Canada, Italy, and right? Okay, what I don't want you to get overwhelmed, so I disabled this. I disabled it, and I just kept it statewide. So I will show it to you on this side, and then we will talk about how we're going to be automating. I will give you an assignment to automate it. So here we go. Let's say I will be needing this car because I'm going from New York to California. So here I go to California. So I select the state where I want to make this reservation. So select and go. Notice that was a drop down. From drop down, you have to select. And here, are my airports. In California, now you would be thinking, well, Reno is not in California. So there's a business logic behind it. The logic is the surrounding states also within a certain radius. So that's the logic of the application. So they might give us in the testing that if it is California, the expected data should be these airports, right? So, but right now I'm just going to be doing the happy path scenario. The happy path scenario is let's do something that works, no negative data, no negative things. So in California, let's say you want to go to Los Angeles. So this is the Los Angeles airport. So that's where you want to begin your reservation. So, and this is not for airline, this is for the car that will come and take you. So you want to be picked up at, select a pickup location, which is the Los Angeles, and drop off where. So these are all towns and cities related to California. You won't see any New York city here. So depending on what state you are, this automatically, this application will show you. So right now, let's say, I mean, what do I know about California except that there are rich bastards living in Beverly Hills. So let's go, and then when I went to California, they took me for a tour to Beverly Hills. They'll show you, oh, this is Tom Cruise's house, this is Bruce Willis' house, this is Madonna's. I mean, rubbing on your wounds. Anyway, so that's that. Now, this is the vehicles. So you can be going in a smaller car, in a bigger car. If you have the whole entourage that you are taking, then you might need a bus, but we'll keep it simple. So let's go with this 4-passenger, right? And then submit. What is your expectation right now? What is this test case about? This test case is about rate lookup. So you expect that from Los Angeles to Beverly Hills, if I go in a car, let's say I'm going to this location, or I'm going to some other location like Hollywood, right? So H as in Hollywood, and HO as in Hollywood, right? So Hollywood. So when you go there, when you submit, you expect a price. And as you can see, there's a price. Okay, it's $85. Okay, $85 is doable. Nice, I like it. So this is my first test case, right? So now we don't want to do it just for Hollywood, Los Angeles. I want to do it, let's say, for a different state. I want to do it in Florida. So I want to take my family to Disney. So I do that. Now it should show me Florida airports. It does show me Florida airports. Which airport I want? I want the Orlando International Airport. That's where Disney is. And here I would go and take Disney. So I'm just gonna scroll down, D as in Disney World, and do that. And it's $65. Oh, this is much more affordable, right? 65. So I like it. So now the question is, how are you going to automate it, wherein you have to do it for how many states are there in United States? The last time we checked, there were what, 48 states? 50, right? So I mean, who's counting Alaska? I mean, is there anything in Alaska? So if I go in here, oh, there is, right? So we could do, so basically we have to test for different sets of data. Now, how can I go and put all those different sets in here? So that is basically, this is the automation, right? Now, but this automation, if you see every time, this is the airport, and this is for that location. And we are saying that, assert that it is $80. Tell me that it is $80 for Beverly Hills. And I'll show you about assertions and all that in a minute. But that's basically what it is. So now the question is, how can you change for different locations and all that? How are you going to do it? So IDE can do so much. I mean, you cannot rely on IDE to do everything for you. When it comes to having multiple sets of data, that data, we will be pulling that data from Excel. So let me take you to Selenium, and there's a folder called test data. And let's say this test data for this one. Now, if you go in here, and if you see, I have bare minimum in here, right? So I'm saying different browsers, and I'm saying California, and so let's and here are the different cities we are going, right? So if I have a larger set of data, let me take I don't know, probably I don't. Okay, this is fine. So these are different states, at least California, New York, California, Florida, Georgia. So you have different data. So if you are passing different data, you want to test it in different browsers and all that. Now, this guy cannot do it. This guy cannot do it. The best it can do is just record for one set of data. So when you have to do things like that, you have to test it for hundreds and thousands of sets of data, then IDE has got some limitations. You cannot do it. For that, you have to run to either your RC server or to your WebDriver, right? Okay, since RC server, we decided to learn by video, so I will start to at least talk a little bit about the WebDriver right now, right? A little bit about the WebDriver. Okay, so in WebDriver, there is no recording, meaning that you have to write the complete script by yourself. You have to create that script by yourself. In order to create the script for yourself, right, you need a tool to type that script. You need a tool to type this. There are many tools, but the most popular tool that is used in the industry is Eclipse. Right? So since we are going to spend 80 to 90% of our time in this course, and the market also demands you to have skills in WebDriver, so we have to start to looking into WebDriver. So in order to build scripts in WebDriver, you have to have a tool called Eclipse. So let's prepare the environment. So preparing the environment is getting Eclipse, right? So where do you get Eclipse from? So notice I started with IDE. We did at least one test in IDE, but we will come back to IDE. I will come back to IDE in the next class. Let me lay out a plot to get ready for us to do WebDriver in the next class. So for that, we need the Eclipse as the tool to download. So let's prepare the environment. Where are we going to get Eclipse from? So we will go to Google. So here I go. I will go Google, and I will say download Eclipse. Eclipse is free, right? Download Eclipse. And as you can see, when you click on that, you will come to a point wherein you can download Eclipse, right? Okay, there are a few things that I have to sort of like guide you or you know, make you aware of what these different options for Eclipse are. So if you see, they say that Eclipse can be used in different operating systems. Now, this course, I will be teaching you this course, and this course is for Windows, right? If you have a machine like Linux, I don't have a machine Linux, so if you come back and ask me some questions about it, so I cannot answer. But that doesn't stop you from using Linux as the machine to test. You can do. If you want to test it on a Mac, you can do. In real life, what are the chances that you would be, you know, running your or developing your scripts on a Linux and you know, building your scripts on a Linux? Majority of the time, the scripts are built on the Windows, and lately Mac is also. So you can build on any system you want. So if you have a Mac, then you should click here and download. If you have a Windows, then we have two choices, whether to click on this one or on 64. So what is the difference, and which one should we be clicking? Okay, that depends on whether your machine is a 32-bit or a 64-bit. How will you find out? You'll go from Start and you'll go to Control Panel, and in Control Panel you look at this system. When you click on the system, right, notice here you are seeing here, right, this is about my system, right? I don't want to boast about my system, and this brings some bread and butter on my table, so I have to go with top of the line, and that's what I have. I have an Intel i7 4700 and 16 gigs of RAM, and more importantly 64-bit. That's the one that I wanted to draw your attention to. So since I know that I have a 64-bit, so I got to be going and then downloading the 64-bit, right? So if you do a 64-bit, now it is telling you in 64, right, which one you want to. There are so many sites and which one you want. So what you do is, before even you select the 64, first of all, don't click here. Excuse me, don't click here. Down here, see, these are the different versions of IDE. So as you can see, IDE or Eclipse, IDE is for Integrated Development Environment. So Eclipse, this IDE has nothing to do with Selenium IDE. This IDE means that it's a development environment. Now you are saying, I'm a tester, why are you taking me into the development environment? So, but you would be developing scripts, right? So you would be developing scripts. So I got to take you into the development environment. So you got to be downloading it. So which one is better for you? There are so many different versions. As you can see, if you scroll down, there's one for testers too, right? So if you see here, there is a Eclipse for testers. But I would say just go ahead and then download this one, Eclipse IDE for Enterprise Edition, developers. Just go and download. And in this one, either that or that, depending on what it is. So you're going to be downloading that. So as when you do that, it brings you to the site, and then from here you could download. So download from Canada, and that's I could use, or download from IBM, whatever. So I'll just take the default choice. So I'm just going to go and then download. And as you can see, it is 275 megabytes. So it'll start to download. It'll take probably a couple of minutes to download. So once it gets downloaded, and I will show you as how to install it. So the idea here is coming back in here, since we already saw a record and run from IDE, and this will be learning from the video. So the WebDriver, we are preparing now to do the WebDriver. So I am getting Eclipse. What else do I need? I need, like we got the Selenium IDE, I need the WebDriver also. I need to download WebDriver, right? So since WebDriver is Selenium, so I would say download what? Selenium WebDriver. So let me just go in here. Let me go to Google and say download Selenium WebDriver. Right? As you can see, it brought me back again to that Selenium HQ, seleniumheadquarters.org, right? And I'm going to click on that. And here, I'm going to go and then download the WebDriver. Okay, what I'm going to do is, if you see here, the Selenium standalone driver. This Selenium standalone driver, or server rather, it has everything that we need. It has everything that we need. So it has your RC server, it has your WebDriver, it has your grid, it has everything. So this is what we will just go ahead and then we will download. So right now it is saying version 248.2. So it is 29.4 megabyte jar, Selenium jar. Now let me talk for a minute about what is jar. You will hear the word jar a lot in this course. So jar files are nothing but Java archive resources. So what it will do is it holds in it a collection or a group of all software, a group or collection of all software objects or classes. Now you might be a little bit like, it's not sitting too well with me. He's talking about some objects and classes. Okay, right now, think about it as something that we need to do the testing with WebDriver. So you need this jar file. Jar file, think about it literally like a jar that has a lot of pebbles in it, rather than pebbles, think about it as a lot of code in it, lot of programs in it, packaged together, and that's why it is called a jar file. So we will be saving it. Now it is downloading it. So if I go here, if I right click on it, open the folder, and if you see this is the jar file. Let me take the jar file first, cut it from here, and go into my Selenium Java. Okay, here I want you to create a folder called all jars. All jars. The reason for that is we will put everything in the right place. So in the all jars, if I double click and if I right click and if I paste it, notice I have 244, 245, 246, and if I paste it now, this is 248. So as we are progressing in time, right, these are getting, so chances are, if you mention in your resume that you have been working for 3 years or 4 years, then they might just quickly come back and question you, what version of Selenium were you using, Selenium Server, what version. So you got to remember 244, 245, 46, 48. Now, if I take you to our screencast, there I have shared with you since the beginning of time, meaning that all the jar files are there. So you can find everything that you need to get going as a part of this course. See here in this folder, artifacts to download. Artifacts to download. This is for every course that we do, right? It is in alphabetical order. So if we are doing JMeter, all JMeter software is here. If I'm doing Selenium, so if you see, I will have like a comment in here. So build.xml. Once you come to the sixth class or seventh class, so probably we will be needing this file. This is when we cover Ant. Right? So we need that file. So you should have access to this folder. And in order to test in Google Chrome for WebDriver, Google Chrome, you need this. And so as I take you here, you will see that there are some files in here that we need. Let me see. Yeah. POI jar file is needed to connect to Excel from Eclipse using Java code. And then you also need, see here, some of the old ones, Selenium Server standalone 215, 225, 228, 231. And then you need some of the jar files, SQL JDBC jar file. This is needed to connect to SQL Server database from Selenium. So you can see we will be doing quite a bit in this course, and we need all of this. So when the time is right, I will give you this access to all of this, and you will have access to all of that. If you already don't, then you should have access to that. Okay, so right now we took that and we copied it. Now let me also show you this Eclipse. I'm just going to take this Eclipse, cut this Eclipse, come back in here, go to Selenium Java. There's a folder called softwares. There's a folder called softwares. If you go in here, I will paste it in here, and as you can see, I have different folders in here, different versions of Eclipse. There's Eclipse Luna, there is Eclipse Mars, there is and probably in the other one I have so many others. So we got Eclipse here. We downloaded Eclipse on our machine. Okay, so this is in zip format. So what we got to do is we got to extract it, right? So what I am going to do is I'm going to extract it, and I will open it to show you how we will be using it starting from our next class. So I am still preparing the environment. So I have told you that you should have in IE, Chrome, and Firefox. If you don't, you should get all those 3 browsers. When you come to the class tomorrow, you should have all 3. You cannot do anything without Firefox. So Firefox, I already told you about IDE, where to get it, how to install it. I mean, it's not an installation, it's a plugin. So it takes like a couple of seconds to just get it. And once you get that, I have shown you as how to do the record and run. So we recorded the actions on the browser of that test case that I did. And I have told you that videos basically is what you would be watching for RC server. For WebDriver, we need to go and then prepare the environment. That requires us to get the download of the WebDriver server that I already did, and we put it in the all jars file, and we downloaded Eclipse. Now we are going through the installation of Eclipse. For the installation of Eclipse, now Eclipse, or for that matter any open source softwares, what they are is they don't write to the registry, unlike the other softwares. Like if you're using UFT, or if you're using Microsoft Word, Excel, or anything like that, these are license-based software. So when you install them, they write to the registry. This one doesn't write to the registry. So you just have to extract it. So where are we going to extract, right? Okay, so for that, I have this sitting inside this software folder. What I'll do is I'm just going to go into this Selenium Java, and I will create a folder. As you can see, I've created a folder for Eclipse August batch, May batch, September batch. So I'm just going to create a folder here, and I will call that folder as Eclipse November, Eclipse _ November 2015, right? And I will push everything inside it. So where is the software right now? It is inside the software, and this is the one that we got. Yeah, this is the one that we got right now, right? So I'm gonna go and I am going to extract it. So if you right click on that, and you could, if you have a WinZip or 7-zip, that's fine. So you could say extract files. So it'll ask you which folder to extract to which folder, and I'm gonna go and choose from my C drive Selenium, and in Selenium we have Eclipse November. So this one highlighted. Okay, so it is going to get extracted to this one. So if I say okay, now it is extracting it, and the extraction probably is going to take about like a minute or two, because it's about 286 megabyte of data. So it's going to get extracted there. Okay, once it gets extracted, now it will be inside this folder. It will be inside this folder, right? As you can see, it is inside. It is Eclipse, and it is getting extracted here. Okay, so what we do is, after it gets extracted, if we have to open it, we have to, let's say if I have to open Excel, let's say it already extracted and I have to open Excel. So what do I do? How do I open Excel if I have to? Every time I have to go to right click and go to here, go Selenium Java, go to this Eclipse November, go to this, and then click on this application access. So I have to click 20 times to come here, or if not 20 times, many times, right? So what I should do is I should create a shortcut on my desktop. So I right click on this one and I say create a shortcut. When you say create a shortcut, it creates a shortcut right here. So what I will do is I will drag it to my desktop. So I'm dragging it to my desktop. After I drag it to my desktop, let me just rename it. Right click on that and rename it. This is what November 2015, and I need it for Selenium, let's say. Right? Okay. So as you can see, I got so many in here. I got for the September, I got this, I got that. So what I'm gonna do is I will just create a folder and move all of them. I will call it Eclipse shortcuts. right? And I'll move everyone here, so just so that there's no confusion. So we are left with only this guy. All right, we're left with only this guy. Okay. All right, so if I double click on it, as you can see, Eclipse Luna is opening up, right? Eclipse Luna is opening up. So what you do is, what was the goal of installing Eclipse? What was the purpose of it? The purpose of this was to write our scripts, right? So when we write our scripts must be saved, right, on our computer. The area where you save our projects and our scripts and our code and everything, that is called a workspace. So it is asking you, what is the workspace? So what I want to do is, if you go back in here in that Selenium Java training, I can also create a workspace here. See the workspace folders and all that. So this is a September 2015 workspace. So I will do this, and I will say new, and I will say this is a November 2015 workspace, right? Workspace. So I will save everything into this workspace. So it is telling me to point where is your workspace. So since I created this November 2015, I will point to that workspace. So if I go into my C drive, into my computer, into my C drive, into my Selenium Java, and in Selenium Java I have the November. So I'm gonna go into the November workspace. Okay, this is important that we point our workspace to a folder. Now anything that we do in Eclipse will be saved in this workspace, right? Okay, so once I hit OK, now Eclipse is pointing to that workspace. And now if I create any projects in Eclipse for testing purpose, all those things will get saved in here. So the first time when you open, it will show you the start page, as you can see. And in the start page, there are some samples, some tutorials, this and that, right? If you have me, then you don't need this, right? So you can just do that. And this is where we're going to be starting in the next class. Of course, I will take you back into IDE again, because I touched base with IDE today, but there is a little bit more of IDE that we need to know. So I'll take you there again in the next class, which is tomorrow. But this is where we're going to be starting in the next class. So tomorrow, I will make you, write your first automated script tomorrow. And believe it or not, if today's class, I don't know how much, of today's class, if 100% is a number, how much are you taking away from today's class after attending this? Did you understood everything, 100% of what I talked about, everything, or are you on a 60%, 70%, 80%? Some of you are definitely on 100%, or probably maybe more than 100, maybe 110, 120. How can there be more? Because you already might have watched some of the videos, and that what I'm getting into in the next class and all that. But for some, if this is a little bit overwhelming in the sense like, oh, I was not able to understand few things in there, I would say not everything is lost, because if you have signed up, then you will be getting a video of this. So play back this video one more time, watch it, and then you will get an idea of what we did, where you missed, and whatnot. And then we will be getting into automation by writing the scripts tomorrow. Okay, here is the assignment for you folks. Okay, I want you to do this one. Hang on for a second. I want you to do and of course I did not cover the assertions and all that, right? I will do that tomorrow. I want you to do this, right? Okay, this is your assignment in IDE, right? Okay, you're looking at rate lookup, right? Okay, look at what I'm doing. rate lookup. This you have already seen, but you are doing this, right? So you are, let's say, it doesn't matter, take your choice, right? So I live in New York, so let's say if you are coming to New York, I will take you to from JFK, and we will go to Manhattan, let's say. Manhattan, M as in Manhattan, right? Manhattan. And how much it is? It is $85. Okay, not much. Good. Okay, this you have already seen. What you want to do now is, now pay attention to this part. You want to book your reservation. So booking a reservation, you have to continue and you have to go in here. This is the rate. So this is one test case. Now you are doing the second test case. In the second test case, you will come in here, click on that, and you will go over this one. So passenger full name, let's say that, phone number, something, right? And cell phone number, email address, right? All this. So you continue, and you do. So it'll take you to about 3 pages. This is one page. Then it'll follow up with the second page, and then you'll go to 3 pages. So it's a 3 web page test case that you have to go and you have to create. And after you create the test case, I want you to run it. And when you run it, this is what basically I am expecting you to show me. Wait here for a second. Open a test case. Let's say I don't have it, but I wanted you to show me the complete one. So let me show you something so that you can let me just take this one, right? Doesn't even show anything. Yeah, that's fine. So if I run it, your test case will be huge, bigger than this, right? But what I want to see is a screenshot after you complete it. So you will take a screenshot and you will send it to me. In the screenshot, it should be showing green here, and I should be able to read a couple of things because I can make out from here. So let's say if I run it, look at the test case, what the test case is all about. If I run it, it is going to take you to that one. It's a new member. So that. It's a one page, right? But what I need to see is, as you can see, once it clicks on submit, and okay, so here something happened. It failed. Something happened. So I want you to give me the screenshot of it, whether it passes, fails, whatever. It should not fail, all right? But I need to see the screenshot of it. So you will send me the screenshot, and the address to send the screenshot would be TrainingRite@gmail.com. TrainingRite@gmail.com. Okay, so this is where you would be sending it. So that's the assignment that is due. When you come here tomorrow we'll be starting the class because we'll have a revised timings, right? So we'll be starting it early, and I will send you the link in about 2-3 hours from now. I will be sending you the link. So if you don't get the link by this evening, you shoot us an email at trainingrite@gmail.com, because you all should be getting the, I mean, whoever have paid, I mean, you should be getting the invite to come to tomorrow's class. So that assignment is due in a week's time. Some of you would be submitting that assignment within a couple of hours, I know. So there is no penalty in submitting it early. So do that if you can. Okay, I will see you same place. I cannot say same time, but same place tomorrow because we might be starting a little early. Before I let you go, we will have Q&A session. Day one, there is not much to be asked, but if you have anything to be asked, go ahead, ask me. This is the time right now. So we'll have a short Q&A. So if there is anything that you want to tell me or ask me, go ahead. The video will be processed in about an hour, and then I will upload it and give you access to this video. So any questions? If you don't have any questions, if you're typing, I'm waiting for a few more seconds. If you're typing, if you want to talk to me, raise your hand and I will unmute you. You can talk to me. If you don't want to talk to me, if you don't have any questions, I would let you go. I think who has a question? Go ahead, who?
Hey, yes, I do have one question.
Yeah.
Selenium 2, I don't know, do you know if it supports multiple instances of execution on the same machine? Let's say if I have to do a cross-browser testing using IE, Firefox, and Google Chrome, is there that kind of capability that allows us to like execute those 3 types of browser testing at the same time?
Simultaneously, if you need to do it, then you have to use the Selenium Grid for that. Selenium Grid would be able to run it in parallel. If you have multiple tests and if you want to run in parallel, you could do it in whatchamacall, you're using your Selenium Grid. So we will, yeah, we will be covering that, and you should be able to do that. You will be able to see how it is done. If I am doing this course slightly differently. I'm pushing it a little bit more onto you, so that I could cover more and more in this course. But at any given point, if we find ourselves lacking time, you can still watch the videos and keep yourself a few steps ahead of me. So I would invite all of you folks to watch the videos in advance, but don't run to watch Selenium Grid today on day one. But as we progress in this course, you should be watching more and more. So to answer your question, yes, it can be done through Selenium Grid.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so that's about it. We are closing the shop right now, and I will see you tomorrow, probably a little early, and we'll take it from there. Okay, enjoy your weekend, your Saturday, and I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one. Bye-bye.